Good morning, my dear students. We are starting the revision of chapter 3, A Horse and Two Goats. The story, A Horse and Two Goats, is about misunderstanding between an Indian named Munni and an American businessman. Munni is an old poor man who lives with his wife in a small South Indian village. Munni has taken his goats to the usual spot, which is a few miles away. He is sitting around a statue of a horse made of weather-beaten clay. As Munni watches the trucks and buses, a yellow station wagon comes and stops there. A red-faced American man, dressed in khaki clothes, comes out and asks Munni about the nearest gas station in English. There he notices the statue, which he finds marvelous. But our Munni does not understand English. He thinks that the man in khaki must be a policeman or a soldier. He is scared of him. The American gives him a card, but Munni thinks that it is a warrant of some kind. Munni gives a long explanation of his innocence of whatever the crime he is investigating. The American asks questions about the statue which he would like to buy. Munni gives some information about the statue in Tamil language. Though he does not understand Tamil, he enjoys every word that Munni utters. Munni interprets the statue, "This is our guardian. At the end of Kali Yuga, this world and all other world will be destroyed, and the Redeemer will come in the shape of a horse." The American says, "I assure you, this will have the best home in the USA, and I don't see how that can interfere with the party. We will stand around him and have our drinks." Finally, the American pushes 100 rupees into Munni's hands and considers that he has bought the statue, as he thinks that Munni is the owner of the statue. But Munni thinks that he has bought his goats. Munni goes home to give the money to his wife, while the American flags down a truck, gets help to break the horse off its pedestal, and drives away with his purchase. Munni's wife does not believe his story. Her suspicion is confirmed when the goats find their way home. She shouts at him and says, "If you have thieved, the police will come tonight and break your bones. Don't involve me. I will go away to my parents." There ends the story. This is the overall picture of our story, A Horse and Two Goats. If we discuss about the plot-wise development of the story, in the beginning we can see that Munni and his wife in village Kridam. After that, the second plot is at Munni with his goats at the statue of the horse. The entire style of the story is changing in the third plot when an American meets Munni near the statue. The communication between red-faced American and Munni become more intensive when the American takes fancy for the statue and wants to buy it. Red-faced American gives Munni 100 rupees, believing that Munni is the owner of the statue. Munni interprets this because he thinks that the American bought his goats. In all these plots, we can see a lack of education or criticism about the culture, poverty, education, and so on. Munni goes home happily, but his angry wife is annoyed. She thinks that Munni has committed a theft. The last plot is an interesting one when the gods find their way home. If we discuss about the themes of this story, the author presents a clash between Indian and Western culture. The two main characters, Munni and the American businessman, represent two different cultures. Munni represents the Indian culture and the American businessman represents the American culture. Munni is poor, uneducated Hindu, while the American is wealthy, educated Christian. As a good Hindu, Munni calmly accepts his fate, while the American endeavors to change his life. Each man is ignorant of the other's way of life. Munni speaks Tamil, while the American businessman speaks English. The two are unable to communicate with each other. Munni speaks about his own life, while the American speaks about his own life. It leads to confusion. At the end of their encounter, each man has what he wants, and neither has lost anything of value. Both Munni and the American businessman differ in their respective level of wealth. Munni is poor and lives in a house made of bamboo tat, straw and mud, etc. While the American businessman is rich and lives in a comfortable house. Munni does not have a formal education because he belongs to the lower caste. He has not traveled beyond his village and he likes to watch trucks and buses go by on the highway in order to have a sense of belonging to a large world. The American, on the other hand, has received education. He possesses a large number of books, but both have different ways to look at things. Munni tries to tell him the significance of the horse statue, but the American regards it only as a living room decoration. So, throughout the story, we can see the main themes of cultural difference, education, and poverty. In order to have a better understanding of this story, you want to gather information about the poor life of Munni, the cultural difference, the education, life in Kridam, etc. I already instructed you to find out information to have a good discussion the next day. I hope you remember that 5 headings and you are already gathering information for that discussion. Read and understand about all those headings and come for a healthy discussion. Thank you.